Hey, how is it going, everybody? I have returned. Okay, let me try that again. I have returned. Where's my round of applause? Shouldn't you guys be happy that I'm back? I mean, just crickets, seriously? You act like I've been gone for a very long time. It's only been so... Oh, yeah, I know. I see how that can be a problem. Okay, well, you have waited long enough, so as your reward, we're just gonna jump straight into it, because I mean, you saw the thumbnail, you read the title, you know what you're here for the Amazing Digital Circus, I'm here for the Amazing Digital Circus, so let's stop wasting time and just get straight into the show.
Welcome to the Amazing Digital Circus!
Pomni?
Pomni.
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 Pomni!
Pomni.
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 So the episode starts with Pomni having a pretty scary nightmare where she is imagining the fact that she is abstracting, and the people in the circus are already forgetting who she is.
Looks like our new friend's already abstracted.
Well, I guess we're not all cut out for it.
I don't even remember her name, honestly.
Luckily though, like I said, it is just a nightmare, so she does wake up from this bad dream that she's having and falls into a block and has a very tough time with the collisions on it. Ragatha meets up with Pomni and apologizes for her having a very catastrophic first day, to put it lightly. And they walk over to the stage and hear what Kane's new adventure is for the day.
Today's adventure is Candy Carrier Chaos! That's right, the Candy Canyon Kingdom's been robbed of their most valuable resource, maple syrup! It's up to you to bring the rotten bandits who stole it to sweet, buttery justice!
So Kane explains that today's adventure is pretty much just getting maple syrup back from bandits that stole it from the Candy Canyon Kingdom. Yeah.
No, thanks. I'm trying to quit.
So we see the gang travel to the Candy Canyon Kingdom, and it is just a very bright, vibrant, colorful land of candy. You could almost say it's like a candy land. But that doesn't exist, right? We then get to meet Princess Lulu, and Pomni drops one of the funniest lines in the entire show, in my opinion.
Look, Pomni, we're already friends with the princess.
I'm not a child. You don't have to hype me up.
She then explains that the bandits that took the maple syrup used a modded syrup tanker. And what better way to catch someone in a modded syrup tanker than a modded syrup tanker of your own? I would also like to call out the fact that Jack says,
I call shotgun.
and then proceeds to run into the driver's seat. I don't think Jax knows what shotgun means. So we see the gummy bandits who stole the maple syrup from the kingdom, and they spot that they are being chased by the Digital Circus crew. So they hop in their truck and skedaddle, and Jax is over here trying to be some edgy, I don't know, just edgy edgelord, maybe?
Alright, Gangle. When we catch up to them, I'll jump over, crawl inside, and shoot them repeatedly until they're unrecognizable.
Once the circus crew catches up with a gummy gang, Jax literally grabs Pomni by the neck and tosses her out of the truck and intends to use her as a bridge. Thus, the chaos begins. Alright, so this next segment is pretty chaotic, so try to keep up. Kinger tries to help Pomni by throwing her a life preserver, which does not work, unfortunately. Jax then grabs a bazooka, and before he can use Pomni as a bridge, she slips and is now on top of the bandit's truck. Jax shoots one of the gummy bandits with the bazooka, and he falls off of the truck. However, he's able to grab onto a hose towards the, connected to the back of the truck. So he's kind of like paragliding, but not gliding, he's on the ground. The gummy leader then suggests that they go over a rocky road, considering that the circus crew's truck won't be able to handle the bumpiness of it. So they go over it, and Jax orders Gangle to go over the same bumpy road. And we figure out that Jax has a gyroscopically stable neck. And if you don't know what that means, it's kind of like a chicken's neck, how their body can move, but their neck will stay perfectly still. And poor Ragatha and Kinger, they are just covered in knives from the bumpiness.
Everyone all right?
Can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear you over the knives.
Jax then tells Gangle to ram into the enemy's truck, which she does, and Pomni is very upset with that. The gummy leader then pulls a lever on their truck, which embeds like spikes coming out of the sides of it, so they can't ram the truck anymore. And Kinger, still trying to help Pomni, throws her an anchor, and the anchor is attached to the truck, so they end up just ramming into the gummy crew's truck and falling into a pit of fudge.
I blame you for this.
While the circus crew falls into a pit of fudge, the gummy leader and Pomni, who are still inside and on top of the gummies war truck, end up jettisoning like across the map and get like they no clip into the map and fall through it, kind of like the back rooms. Now, that was one very chaotic section. We see the gummy leader wandering through the outskirts of the map, and he comes across something that would probably be very unsettling for an NPC. He comes across all of the character models and their renders. He sees himself, he sees his crew, he sees the princess, the vehicles, and one more mysterious character that we have not seen yet. But maybe we'll get to that later. As expected, he's honestly kind of freaking out because, I mean, I feel like anyone would be freaking out if they just fell through a rock and just saw themselves staring at them. Like, that would be very freaky. Oh, hey, look, it's Pomni. So the gummy leader instantly starts questioning Pomni, hitting her with the "Why is this happening?" and "What am I doing here?" and "How am I ever gonna get out of this fucking place?" Meanwhile, the rest of the circus crew is floating in the, I guess, river of fudge, and they run into, well, the fudge. And in case you didn't know, the fudge is actually a reference to the Greedy from Raggedy Ann and Andy.
What's that? Excuse me.
Jax tries to strike up a deal with the fudge, asking for help, and in return, the fudge will get his freedom, because the fudge reveals that he used to live in the kingdom with everyone else, but because he was eating all of the people that lived in the Candy Kingdom, he was banished to the Fudge River. And Jax also likes to make fun of Ragatha and saying that her hair looks like licorice, which, honestly, it kind of does.
Why don't you leave this to me before I start thinking your hair looks like licorice?
Jax!
Oh, wow, it kinda does.
Stop!
So the fudge agrees. All he has to do is help the gang find the rest of the bandits, and Jax will let him back into the kingdom so he can eat more people.
I saw the Reaper wink at me.
Oh. Well, I suppose that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. A lot less anticlimactic. But, hey, they found him, so I guess deal's done. You know, I wonder how Pomni and the gummy guy are doing.
Hey, you okay?
No.
You want to talk about it?
What is there to talk about?
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's doing fine. I mean, everybody knows when you ask someone if they're doing okay and they say no and there's not anything to talk about, then they're doing A-okay. All jokes aside, though, Gummy Goo is not doing well at all. I mean, could you blame him? He just had his entire reality and world shattered. I mean, imagine someone coming up to you and just being like, hey, you're not real. You're only an obstacle for me. You exist for my enjoyment. Like, you don't mean anything outside of me. Like, I'd probably be feeling down in the dumps too. However, Pomni and the gummy guy do have a really nice, heartfelt conversation where Pomni is telling him that she doesn't want him to feel like left out. She doesn't want him to feel alone and afraid. And she offers to have the gummy guy come back and stay at the circus with them. And he agrees. So we'll have a new member in the crew in the show, and we do get to learn his name as well.
What's your name, by the way?
Gummy gay.
Wow, that's just about as dumb as my name.
So we have our new member in the crew, Gummy Goo. I can finally stop calling him Gummy Guy and calling him Gummy Goo. I actually really like that name a lot. So, Gummy Goo, new, boom, brand new favorite character. Give him all the merch, give him all the plushies. He's going to be here forever. We love Gummy Goo. Hashtag Gummy Goo 2026 Tumblr Sexy Boy. So Gummy Goo asks Pomni if she has a plan on a way to get out of here. And she remembers something from the beginning of the episode. Now, if we go back to the beginning of the episode, the scene when Pomni falls out of her bed after waking up from the nightmare and has trouble on the block with the collisions, this is where it ties in. And I'll say this now, you're going to notice a pattern in this show where a lot of times something from the beginning of the episode is always going to be important or relevant later on in the episode. But we'll get into that in the future episodes where we'll actually see it like unfold. So Pomni puts her plan in action and shoves some cubes in the distance underneath the front of the truck. And she starts the car and they take off like Team Rocket's blasting off again. We cut back to the circus, or the rest of the circus crew, and they're riding the bad guy truck on top of the fudge. And Jax is severely disappointed because, this is, to him, it's been boring. Nothing too much has been happening other than the car chase and the fudge, I guess. Nothing really interesting has happened. And while he's complaining, we get a nice little moment from Kinger when he's surprisingly sane. Weird. And while everyone's talking and just chilling, hanging out, the truck that Pomni and Gummy Goo in just comes blasting out of the ground and lands on top of the fudge, killing the fudge. I really hope you had no emotional attraction to the fudge because it didn't last very long. But you know who did last longer than the fudge? My goat Gummy Goo, like Gummy Goo on top, Gummy Goo #1. So the gang has a nice little reunion. Gummy Goo gets to, reunite with his goons, his henchmen, and obviously Pomni gets to reunite with the rest of the circus crew. And Jax is again upset because nothing interesting or cool has happened, but he can go be an edgelord somewhere else. And since there's 2 bad guy trucks, they decide that Gummy Goo's crew can take one of them and the circus crew can take the other one back to the kingdom. And, it's a win-win. Everyone's happy. So they go back to the kingdom and, they get praise, victory, #1. They're so cool. They're so good. Let's go. Hoorah. The kingdom's celebrating because they won. They beat the adventure and they tell the queen that, they tell the princess that they're going to execute Gummy Goo, which I think is really funny. Man, I just genuinely cannot wait for Gummy Goo to be in future episodes because, if you watch the trailers, there's one where Kinger has a shotgun. Maybe they have guns. Has Gummy Goo get a gun? I can't wait for Gummy Goo to be a recurring character.
Wait, what?
But why did they kill Gummy Goo? But he was my favorite character.
I know you guys love your NPCs, but if I start losing track of who's a human and who's an NPC, who knows what could happen?
Well, rest in peace, Gummy Goo. Still lasted longer than the fudge. Still a better character than the fudge. Man, he would have gone places. R.I.P. Gone not soon enough and already forgotten. 3, 2, 1, go. Well, now that the adventure is over and Gummy Goo is unfortunately dead, they decide to hold a funeral. Although they don't hold a funeral for Gummy Goo, but instead they're holding a funeral for Kaufmo since, he did abstract literally yesterday. And it's a nice moment, they all, it's a funeral, it's sweet, bittersweet. And Pomni realizes during this funeral that she's not alone, and she has people that care about her, and she has friends, and, people she can rely on. And it's a nice, sweet moment. And with that is going to do it with the end of episode 2 of the Amazing Digital Circus. Well. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Episode 2 is probably my favorite episode within the series. The episode 4 is a close though, but we will get to that when we get to that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Did you like episode 2? Did you not like episode 2? Is there anything you wish you would have saw within the video? Anything you didn't like, dislike? What let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I will be working on episode 3. Episode 3 will be up within some time in the future, hopefully soon. Hopefully it won't be another month hiatus, but we'll see. We get there when we get there. But anyway, I'm Lavender Crown, and until the next one, I'm out of here.